Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Crowning Moment. My name is Casey Gibson. For those who are new here, make sure to check out our social media channels, and it's at Crowning Moment Podcast, and our YouTube to look at all of the backlog of interviews we've done so far. We have some amazing ones with Miss America, Miss USA Albany, who is now the Miss Universe. So definitely check out those episodes on all of our channels, and whatever platform you're listening on, welcome. We're glad to have you here. Today, we're going to be talking about some things that people don't normally talk about in pageantry. To start off, a few things we're talking about are spray tans, makeup, and gifts that you bring to pageants. And I say gifts that you're bringing to pageants if you've gone to any of them. People like to do like the little welcome gifts for the other contestants. And I've actually created a super easy way for you guys to grab those, buy those, because sometimes it can get very expensive if you don't really know what to give in those welcome gifts. So let's get started on today's episode of things people don't tell you about. All right, guys, so the first thing we're talking about is tanning. I recently did a video with Pageant Vision TV, and we actually talked about tanning and how tan you should be, and not how to look like a burnt churro or a burnt chicken nugget. I know myself, when I was first starting out, I tanned way too dark. I was looking a completely different race. Like, it was giving Latina Casey, and that was just not good. Not good. So I want to talk about things that I personally use, which I actually have an Amazon storefront link for everything I'm talking about in this episode. You can easily find it there. So a few of the products that I've been absolutely loving to use for tanning is I tan myself. My mom is my biggest partner in crime when it comes to tanning because I cannot reach my back. So I've got things in this cart that you guys can look at, and it's literally just, my tanning faves. So first one is I love to use Bondi Sands. I am someone that loves to tan extra dark, so I use the dark shade, but remember, when going into tanning, they have light, they have medium, and they have dark. If you're using tanning booths or tanning beds, I used to work at an Ultra Tan, so I definitely have some good advice. We'll get to that after this, but right now we're solely talking about mousse, sprays, and rub-on tans. So like I said, Bondi Sands is definitely my favorite. Some people are weird about tanning their face. If you have a breakout or you have a scratch or something on your face, do not tan it. I would say don't tan it. It's just going to save you dark spots you're going to have to cover up in the end. I love to use a tanning drop, mix it with my moisturizer, so I know that that's something I use on my skin every day. It's not going to affect how my face already looks. It's not going to break my face out. A good recommendation I have for those face drops is the Tan Lux. I got like the tester one from ordering stuff on Sephora, and it really did help. I use that when my tan started to come off and my body's still tan. I just put on some more Tan Lux. Another one, I did get the Tanologist body face drops, and it's really moisturizing, and it doesn't break my face out. Another good tan drop is the Isle of Palm one. So there's a few of these good products that you can use for your face, but back to your body. Things that you may not have known that you definitely need to, and I know our tanning specialists out there will love you for this. Exfoliate your skin. Oh my goodness. When I went in for the first time ever, I was using those it's like the Australian makeup brand, their exfoliating wipes, and like on the way from school to my tanning appointments, I would exfoliate with these wipes. I advise do not ever do that. That is so bad, and you need to exfoliate literally like the night before. Do not exfoliate the day of. I always have the worst tans when I exfoliate and then immediately tan and go to bed. I have the worst tans. I try to exfoliate in the morning if I'm doing something like that, but before going to an actual tanning specialist or getting a spray tan done, make sure that you are exfoliating your skin. I like to use the glove exfoliators, which is also, you can see on my Amazon storefront, they have these ones that are like a mitt, and so you kind of rub it off that way, or even just using a loofah if you cannot get a hold of these items, or a washcloth. Everybody's got one of these. You got a hand towel, a washcloth, whatever you need. Exfoliate that dead skin, girl. Just let it fall off. Let it fall off. You do not need it. It is, it exfoliates itself for a reason, so therefore get rid of it. If it's coming off, get rid of it. But that was kind of a lot all in one. So back to my tanning faves. Definitely the Bondi Sands is a big tanning fave of mine. And I like the Tanologist brand. I've been using their extra dark 1 Hour Express, but I've actually been sleeping in it. And it doesn't say anything about washing it off, so I just don't, which is kind of gross. So I'll shower like a day or two later, and so it gets to like its darkest, fullest potential. Then I shower it off. But with some of these, like the Bondi Sands, it's usually an 8-hour shower it off, because if not, it will get all over your clothes. Another thing people don't tell you about is having tanning clothes. You don't want anything tight. You want something loose. I literally wear a button-up heart PJ set that I got from Marshall's like probably a year or two ago. I used to use just a dark hoodie and a dark pair of sweatpants. Do not put a bra on. Wear underwear. Please wear some underwear. I usually wear, a thong. But other than that, I don't really want to talk about my intimates on this podcast. Those are things that people just like don't tell you about. So again, the way to do it, exfoliate. Have a good pair of clothes to wear before you go to bed. I don't wear socks when I go to bed with my tan on because it'll leave a little ankle mark, so don't do that. And then find the tan that works best for you. It took me a long time. I went through the Saint Tropez brand, the Saint Mortez, whatever, all of the Saint brands. I did Loving Tan in college. It looked really good. It went away really fast. And I've just found that the Tanologist and the Bondi Sands work best for my skin, and it doesn't break me out, doesn't mess with my skin. It honestly like dries up I have like a little bit of like back acne like on my like shoulder range, because that's where my sports bra always sits. And so when I'm working out a lot and sweating like I have been for the past few months, like it's gotten kind of bad. So just know that for those marks, it will make them a little dark, but after you shower it off, like it'll be fine. You'll look great. Back to the face ones, definitely recommend the Tan Luxe drops, which they are a little pricey. All these tanning drops are a little pricey. However, you're only using like 2 to 3 drops every time. So I've had the same Tan Luxe one for almost a year now, and it's literally just the tester size. I only use it maybe once every 2 months. Like my face doesn't normally lose its tan that fast. And if it does, it doesn't hurt to just put some more tanning lotion back on it, sleep in it, wash your face in the morning. Just try it out. So Tan Luxe drops and the Tanologist ones are definitely my top fave. Okay, let's talk about prolonging your tan. One of the things I picked up recently is the Tanologist Daily Glow Hydrating Gradual Tan Lotion. That one already has some tan in it, so it makes my tan last a lot longer because I am using all of the same products. I use the Tanologist Tanning, I use the Tanologist Tanning Drops on the face, and then I'm using this to hydrate my skin. It really is hydrating. I love it. It's awesome. But another one is just using lotion, but you need to make sure that your lotion does not have alcohol as one of like the first 2 or 3 ingredients, because it is going to strip your tan. Also, when getting into that shower to shower off your tan, make sure the products you're using are not Bath & Body Works or any of those, because it's going to strip your tan. Make sure you're using, I like to use a soap bar. I go to Lush and I get a soap bar from them because I know it's natural. And so look for more natural things. Do not use the Dr. Bronner's or whatever, like the 25-in-1 soap. I've been using that because I'm prepping to take it on the Camino with me. Do not use that with a tan. Oh my goodness, I did a tan. It looked so good. Got in the shower, got out. I was completely white again. It took off all of my tan. So make sure you're reading your products. That's another big important thing. I probably should have started with that, but that is all I have for you about tanning. I will do some videos on my TikTok and on my Instagram so you guys can see, differences and pictures, so you guys will know what is the best, way. And it's really just a trial and error figuring out what works best for you. Tanning isn't cheap, but there are brands like B-Tan, and always look at Marshalls for tanning stuff. Just remember, on Marshalls and a TJ Maxx is almost like an overstock.com, just in person. So those aren't, most of the time, they're not expired. They're not, fake products or cheap products. I get a lot of my Tanologist stuff from Marshalls or TJ Maxx. So definitely try there first for your tanning needs. Just try it all out, see which one works best for you, and make sure you exfoliate, and make sure you shave your legs or whatever you're shaving in the middle of exfoliating, because you need to do that before you put your tan on. So that concludes our tanning portion of this episode. Now we're moving into makeup. I myself do my own hair and makeup for pageantry because sometimes that can get pricey going to these big competitions. I know when I did Miss South Carolina for MAO when I was a teen and a miss, as a teen, I spent like $1,500 for a week of makeup. It was great. It looked phenomenal. However, I just like to watch YouTube, and I learned how to do it myself. Also went and did a hair and makeup lesson with Corey King. He helped me with makeup. I've watched Brittany do hair for years. It was perfect. So I learned how to do my own. That really can save you so much money in pageantry. But when it comes to makeup and creating your own kit, A few things that I definitely recommend going into that kit right away is moisturizers, because if you do not have a good base starting your makeup, it's not going to stay all day. It's not going to look good all day. So I always like to say, start with a good moisturizer or a good primer to lock that all in. I always do the Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dewdrops by Glow Recipe, and then follow it up with the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I'm someone that has a very dry skin, and I've always found that the Milk Primer works best for me. That also is another one of those trial and errors, but to start that makeup, make sure you're starting with a good base. For my acne-prone skin girls out there, I feel you. I have cystic acne, and it really can be a pain in the butt sometimes because mine always pops up on my cheek. For that texture, I found that making sure that my base is good, it's easy to conceal those bumps, because I know sometimes that can be one of our biggest insecurities. I'm right there with you. I feel it. And making sure that you can cover those up really is like your number one part of your day. You're like, how can I cover this bump up? It's really bothering me. For those that have really, really, really textured skin, look at your products, do your research, making sure that these are products that are not going to hurt your skin, but also sometimes have some healing powers. I know this is very grandma of me, but I like to use the Clinique brand and their daily wear foundations. Normally when I'm doing like a full face, like a thick face of foundation for pageants and competing on stage, I use Clinique because they have good acne skin products in their makeup. And so making sure that you're finding stuff that is not going to hurt your skin and it helps it while it's on. I know, how can it actually help? But really, to me, it makes a difference in my skin. The texture is good. It doesn't make it look like my face is just all messy and broken out. It really does help. So make sure you're looking at your products for that. After you do a full face of makeup, what are you doing to lock that in? What are you doing? I'm asking you. And if you're doing nothing, girl, let me put you on. So I am the, drugstore cosmetic queen, and I love to get anything e.l.f. e.l.f. works really good for my skin. It's a cosmetic brand, eye, lips, and face. If you didn't know, that's what e.l.f. stands for. And I love it's like the lasting setting spray. It's the green one, and it's actually a dupe for, I think it's the Urban Decay all-nighter spray, but it is amazing. A couple skirts all over the face. It literally is like holy water. So making sure you're starting with a good base and ending with a good locking in, it is amazing. I have slept in my makeup and it still looks good the next day, which I advise not doing because your face will break out more, so do not do that. And another thing that I always like to say, keep some sort of makeup remover or makeup wipe in your bag, because if something goes wrong or something messes up and you need to take your makeup off, you need to have the products to do that. I've tried the makeup oil removers. I feel like that broke my skin out even more, being acne prone as I am. So I don't know about that, but I know people hate makeup wipes. I love them. I think they're the best. They work perfect for me. I use the nighttime Neutrogena ones, the purple pack, and I like to go to Target and get the Target brand of them, because Target brand stuff is actually really, really good. The Good and Gather, I think, is what it is for Target, but definitely try those out. Those are some good makeup tips and tricks to get your skin looking phenomenal and staying all day. Okay, last but not least, these are just a few things that I don't know if people actually know. When you go to pageants, sometimes you'll see girls with baskets or bags full of all of these goodie bags, and you're looking around like, Mom, are we supposed to bring this? The answer is, do you, boo. You do not have to bring this. Now, if they say in your paperwork, make sure to bring a goodie for each girl, make sure that you make extra. I went to a pageant this past summer and I did not make enough. I didn't realize this one girl was competing. She wasn't even on the website. And so I made everyone these cute Mickey Mouse ear keychains and had their first initial on it. And I couldn't give them out to anyone because I didn't have enough to go around. That's also a thing. Sometimes if you don't have enough, don't pass them out. I know you're like, well, I put so much money into this. Well, hold on to it, because most likely you're going to be doing another pageant sometime soon, or give them out at a children's event that you're going to next, or some sort of community service event. It's okay. But just make sure you have enough to go around. I know I fell short a couple times going into pageants, and so then I looked like I didn't bring anything, but I did. And I told people, hey, I brought stuff for everyone. I just didn't have enough to go around. And so I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. Just be honest. Who cares? It happens. Life happens. But truly, this girl was not on the website, so I had no idea she was even competing. So I felt really guilty, and I didn't want to give everyone a gift and not give her one because we were all in a huge group. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. Like, I just didn't bring one for everyone. I just don't think it's fair to give other people stuff that someone's not getting. To help with this, good ideas for this, I'm talking claw clips, hair bands, chapsticks, lotions, cheap lip glosses, mini tanning stuff, keychains, bracelets, cute little necklaces, anything that has a crown on it, little crown earrings. And you can get this stuff in bulk on Amazon. I'm telling you now, on Amazon. And for all my mamas out there, I went ahead and created you a little area that says, pageant, good luck bags, pageant contestant items, because you can give them, honestly, my favorite thing to give out is makeup blenders, makeup sponges, anything that people can do makeup with that's super cheap, super inexpensive, because I know it can get pricey. And give it in those cute little drawstring bags. You can get them in a pack of 100. It makes your life easier. Amazon gets it to your house within, less than 3 days. It makes life easier, especially if you forgot about it and you're like, oh no, we need to bring something. Another thing that I like to do is do the pageant survival kit, have a Band-Aid or a few Band-Aids, some ibuprofen. If you're in the MS or MISS and above or teen and above, that's okay to give medicine. That's totally fine as long as it shows this is Tylenol. Don't be getting shady out there. That's weird. That's okay to give stuff like that. And going forward, giving them pins or giving them markers, especially for little girls, give them a little coloring book. Or if you have made a coloring book yourself, order your coloring books to give to these girls. So then they could say, oh my gosh, she wrote a book. It was a coloring book. That is so cool. But hopefully this helps you guys with some ideas going into your next pageant or simply with your everyday life. I know these tanning hacks can really be helpful. I'm someone that tans every Thursday, so I've got my tanning routine, tanning rituals, and hopefully this helps you guys out. But thank you so much for joining us on another episode of The Crowning Moment. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to follow us on all of our social medias at Crowning Moment Podcast. We post every week, so make sure that you're checking your notification mark on so you can know every time I post.